My husband and I first learned about water ionizers about 25 years ago. I was a teacher and principal at the time, and we were raising 5 children. And that had its challenges, especially since we all seemed to have allergies. I remember spending many an evening in the health food store looking for remedies to help myself and my children with our various illnesses. Then one day around 1996, my sister told me about water ionizers. She showed me all the research that was coming out of Japan at the time and how these water ionizers were both preventing and curing diseases. And sure enough, as soon as I started drinking ionized water and I had all my children drink ionized water, I learned that it was easier to stay healthy and just be healthy, prevent disease, than it was to find remedies or cure disease after the fact. I spent a lot of money on that first ionizer, but I earned it back in less than the first year just by savings of 0 trips to the doctor. And literally all the years since then, we have just continued to be perfectly healthy. Beyond owning a water ionizer, another thing that changed me at the time was knowledge about the body and its need for alkalinity and antioxidants. The machine does no good sitting on the counter unused. It was this knowledge that prompted me to use the machine as much as I did with myself and with my children. Today, this data tends to get disregarded by our profit-based researchers in the United States. When the Japanese were at their all-time low after World War II, they picked up on this research, along with anything that showed promise to prevent disease and cure disease, and all of that was looked at and studied. The reason why is they were a dying race at the time, physically and economically. Acidification and lack of oxygen is a cause for cancer and illness and ultimately cell death. In the United States, we obviously have not learned this knowledge because our idea of a healthy meal is to have all of the food groups in one meal, regardless of how acidic it is. So anyway, the Japanese studied water better than it had ever been studied before. Studying water makes sense. After all, our bodies are mostly made of water. The Japanese became famous for doing all kinds of experiments with this water. Ionized water proved itself over and over again to be very healing water. So what I learned from this was the fact that our bodies need to consume slightly alkaline ionized water, and doing this helps oxygen get into the cells, and it helps the cells and tissues by releasing their toxins and allowing the toxins to be safely eliminated from the body, also allowing the cells to remain healthy and disease-free, and also that it helps the body to keep its healthy body weight. Because these toxins are stored in the fat cells, removing them from the body helps you to recover the body's natural healthy weight. And in the water cell, it splits the water, and alkaline water comes out one stream, and acidic water comes out the other. Now, at the pole where alkaline water is produced, hydrogen is produced in abundance. So basically, ionized water is hydrogen-rich water. And here's how it works in the body. Active oxygen travels through our bodies just as part of its natural processes. But the problem is active oxygen is or becomes a free radical and can actually damage cells, damage cell various membranes, and even get into the DNA and damage it. But when your body has access to plentiful hydrogen, it can come in and bond with the active oxygen to neutralize it. Now, neutralizing active oxygen can help save the cells that would have been damaged, or it can even actually help repair the cells and repair the DNA even. So hydrogen is part of the secret ingredient that helps oxygen safely get into our cells and safely remove toxins so that our cells can be free of disease and healthy.